Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Did you hear? Don't give up the fight. Nigerians, get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. You see, preacher man, don't tell me that your heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what right is really what. It's not all that glitters is good. Half the stories they never told us, and now we've seen the light. Stand up for your right. Did you hear? Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. One more time. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. You see, most people think that great God will come from the sky, take away everything, and make everybody feel right. And if you know what right is what, you would look for yours right here. And now we've seen the light. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Good morning, the people of Nigeria. Good morning, Africans. Good morning, viewers, watchers, followers, admirers, cheerleaders from within Nigeria, across Africa, and around the world. My name is Smart Mado Ajaja. I am the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International, and also the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite. Yes, what a time. What a time. What a time. You know, being a Nigerian. What a time being an African. What a time living in the United States. What a time, experiencing all that is taking place in the world. Yes, please, join us, share this message. Be ready to comment, share your perspectives, and, give your voice, and, do whatever you possibly can to get this message to across many Nigerians, many Africans, and many global citizens as possible. If you're a Nigerian, I do not need to tell you so much. Hey, Ennis, Era, how are you? Hey, my day is going great. How are you, unique boy? I hope you are doing well too. Yes, we are all here. We are talking about Nigeria. Nigeria has become an Achilles heel. Nigeria is failing. I feel so bad. I'm just weeping and crying and bleeding with all that is taking place. Hey, Euro-African, how are you? How are you? How are you? Hey, shout out, please. Hey, Enuji Park, where are you getting from? Pravin Kuma, Nigerian population is over 250 million. Yes. Facebook, get up, wake up. YouTube is rising. Yeah, TikTok, we see you doing your thing. Thank you. LinkedIn, we're going to connect with you later. And everything. This message must go out. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Assalamu alaikum. Malaikum salam. My name is Smart Mado Ajaja Ennis. Yeah, that is my name. Yeah, I live in Houston, Texas, United States of America. And I am a registered nurse with a lot of specialty experience, starting from general nursing, medical surgical nursing, orthopedic, industrial, correctional, and all. Whatever. I've been through a lot through the various specialties in nursing. I love it. And it brought me to limelight. So I'm so proud to be a nurse. And I'm happy that I'm an inspiration to a lot of nurses from Nigeria. But right now, we are talking about what is taking place in Nigeria. Do you believe young Nigerians went out to protest in August of 2024, protesting against the bad government in their country? protesting against a government that is led by a drug dealer, a certificate forger, and an identity thief, paired with a terrorist, a known terrorist with ties to Boko Haram. And this vice president, the vice president of this rogue vice president, because we don't have a government in Nigeria. There's no government in Nigeria. The rogue vice president in Nigeria is a terrorist with ties to Boko Haram. Yes. And if you remember, in 2011, there was a terrorist attack on Nigeria. The United Nations building was attacked in Nigeria. It was bombed. And they killed over 22 workers drawn from across the world. Some were Americans, some were Britons, some were people from various parts of the world. They murdered them. Guess what? Those who were responsible were arrested in the house of the current rogue vice president of Nigeria. So Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, rogues, terrorists, bandits. The rogue president of Nigeria he was living in the United States. Where did he live? He lived in Indiana, Gary, Indiana. If you know, if you're an American, I'm sure you have heard the story of Gary, Indiana, and drugs. That town is run down right now as we speak. Bola Ahmed Tinubu sold drugs in commercial quantities in that part of the United States. Yes, and then his involvement with large-scale drugs killed thousands of Americans, destroyed thousands of American families. Yes, he destroyed thousands of American families. And his drug network was not just within, it was with connections around the world, even as far as to Russia. That was why the Russians were laughing at Nigeria, that they put a drug dealer in power. A man who has destroyed, a man who should be in Hague right now, who should have faced the hangman for his crimes against humanity, is the rogue president of Nigeria. To become president of Nigeria, he violated all Nigerian institutions. He completely destroyed what was left of the sovereign, struggling Nigerian armed forces. He destroyed the judiciary. Yes. He compromised the constitution of Nigeria. He compromised the traditional institutions. The institution in Nigeria. The institution that has never been really good. The institution that sold millions of Africans, millions of Nigerians into slavery. Yes, two types of slavery, trans-Saharan and transatlantic. The trans-Saharan slave trade lasted for 700 years in the hands of the Arabs. 700 years. When that was over, the Europeans came and subjected Africans, yes, to another 400 years, totaling 1,100 years of African slaves, black slavery, in the hands of Europeans and the Arabs. What did we get? As if that was not enough, they came back and colonized the continent. If you remember the history of the Berlin Conference between 1884 and 1885, when European powers came together under the leadership of Chancellor Bismarck, yes, in Germany, yes, in Berlin, Germany, 1884 and 1885. They mapped Africa. They sent mercenaries that they called missionaries. Well, here, the mercenaries that they sent were the missionaries that they came to give us Jesus Christ. They were mercenaries. They were armed with the Bible. They lied to our people about God. The God that we knew far ahead of everybody. They changed our understanding, our pathway to God, and gave us their own idea of God. They told us, look up in the sky. And our ancestors were looking up in the skies. And they were digging out, they were surveying our land for mineral resources. That is why we are stuck as we speak right now. But that is a story for another day. I always tell our young people, yes, I always tell our young people the story that they don't know. The reason they remove the study of history from Nigeria's academic curriculum, they have so much to hide. The people who created this mess. Right after the Berlin Conference was 1914, when they brought the Amalgamation Treaty. Yes, 22 Britons, driven by the corrupt royal imperials in Britain. They established a plantation. Yes, through their Royal Niger Company. You see where the name of Nigeria came from? Yes. After doing so much business, they saw business was so good. They decided to expand the scope of their business. They found 6 Nigerians, 6 Africans. There was no Nigeria at the time, 6 West Africans. Yes, 2 Fulanis, Osman Danfodio Fulanis, 2 Yoruba elites. One was a lawyer, the other one was a traditional ruler. One Kanuri, that was the Shehu of Boronu. And one man from the southeast, an Efik, the Obong of Calabar. 6 of them signed Nigeria, signed us into the hell that we are right now, that have been struggling to get out from. That nobody who has led Nigeria has made any serious attempt to take us away from. They have kept on deepening it. But you young people of Nigeria, I tell you now, and by extension, all Africans and all oppressed people, it is time to open your eyes and then be asking questions. Why is the world looking down on Nigeria? Why is the world looking down on Nigeria? Why does Nigeria have no respect? Why is it that the black man has no respect? Questions that we must answer. Why our young people, after our ancestors were forced out of Africa into slavery in foreign lands? Yes, they did not want to go, they forced them. But right now, our people are the ones volunteering to run away into slavery because of the harsh economic conditions at home that were instigated by the same powers that colonized us, the same power that enslaved our ancestors. It is time we start asking questions. What is the problem that we have? One that I know is leadership. Yes, leadership has been lacking. All the leaders who have led Africa, especially Nigeria, have been puppets. Leaders who have no minds of their own. Corrupt leaders who did not care about anybody but themselves. We are in a country where we do not have a say about how our country should be led because of the way the country was structured right from 1914. When only 6 persons, representing 2-3 ethnic groups, signed us into hell, to the exclusion of over other 400 ethnic nationalities that made up what we call Nigeria today. Nigeria has been a fraud, but we can change that fraud to make it a great country. And that has been the reason for my message. That is the reason I exist for you. Hey, Alaji Yaya, how are you? Good morning from here. Hey, Musa Meshanu, thank you. Now, so much has happened in Nigeria. We went through a bad independence. The country slided into a genocide that they called civil war. We came out of that. They told us, oh, we are going to reconcile and reunite. But all the things that created the genocide have never, not even one of them has departed us. There's discrimination. There's hate. There's religious and tribal bigotry. There is tribalism. There's nepotism. There's everything. If you elites in the country have united in a deadly conspiracy to make sure that Nigeria does not progress, they are the ones who have held us hostage. They have their backers from outside Nigeria. And whenever we try to tell you, they tell you about religion. You are a northerner. You are a southerner. You see, they created those nonsense, those rivalries with which they have held us captive. They never emphasize that we are all one black people. They never emphasize that we are all one African people. They kept on hammering on those divisive tendencies to keep us divided. Why they benefit? Why they have all their children outside Nigeria? You now watching me, thousands of you young Nigerian children watching me. Why you and your parents live in penury and abject poverty? You see them, they will come. They want to explain to you how Houston look. Houston is so beautiful. And then you'll be like, oh, looking at them, Houston, so why can't they create an open country? So you can aspire to be in Houston. You can aspire to be in New York. You can go to London. You can be everywhere. Just like the way where I am is right now. Even though it has some problems too. So now, fast forward. The reason I'm making this video is about what happened. In 2023, the people of Nigeria went to vote. Everybody knew where that vote was going. These criminals joined hands together. They come from the north. They come from the southwest. They come from everywhere. Because they don't want Nigeria to work. They forced a criminal on all of us. The election was not over. In the middle of the night, they announced a result, declaring a criminal the winner. Before they did that, they deployed the army so that our people will not revolt. The army has become a problem. The army in Nigeria has become a political party because its drivers are corrupt. Its drivers are evil. Its drivers see themselves as citizens of another country on an invasion mission in Nigeria. They don't see themselves as Nigerians because of the way the army in Nigeria is structured along ethnic line. One ethnic group is dominating every part of the army. Yeah, they have taken control of the command and control infrastructure of the Nigerian armed forces. So they use them as hammer to hammer down our people. They instigate this fear in our people that our people cannot rise up and ask questions. Democracy is about questions. Democracy is about anything you don't understand. You ask questions. Democracy is about your rights as citizens. Yes, democracy preaches rights. They deploy the police. They deploy the DSS. They deployed all men in uniforms of brutality to come after them. They arrested and they killed a lot of them. And I'm talking about teenagers, young children who are under 18, being slaughtered by their own state, being slaughtered by their own armed forces, being slaughtered by their police. And not many Nigerians could stand up for them. Those who ought to be speaking have remained silent. The fake Sultan of Sokoto has remained silent. The northern traditional rulers and their northern political elites remain silent. Because they are behind all that has been taking place. They are behind what is setting Nigeria back. The people in Nigeria fear them. A minority holding the entire country hostage. Religious leaders don't speak the truth anymore. Adeboye is silent because his tribesman is there. Oyedepo is silent. The rest of them are silent because they don't want to lose their tithes and offering. Gumi is raging. as if he's a super citizen of Nigeria, and nobody is able to stand up to them. Their mission is to destroy Nigeria. Their mission is to overrun Nigeria. Their mission is to take over Nigeria and drive all Nigerians away. The same thing they did in 1804, the same ideology, the same methodology, the people who are sponsoring all this nonsense was what they did to the Hausa people to take over their land. They meticulously have taken over strategic institutions in Nigeria with which they perpetrate their evil against the people of Nigeria. Our majority is silent, not doing anything. They want us to be nice and diplomatic to people who are undiplomatic, people who are murdering our people with every slightest opportunity they have, they unleash. They are either directly in power or remotely. 10 out of those who have led Nigeria have something to do with them. The 3 that led Nigeria from somewhere else were remotely controlled by them. Why should we continue Nigeria this way? They have no agenda but to destroy Nigeria. Any position they occupy, they loot the country dry. 4 refineries in Nigeria, 4 of the country's refineries are dead right now. Now a new refinery owned by one person. Yeah, owned by one person. They say it's one person, but it was built with money stolen from Nigeria. The man who flees Nigeria to become Africa's richest man and are aspiring to be the richest man in the world. Looking back with millions of his compatriots going to sleep on empty stomachs. What a country. What a people. And we tell our people have become so weak that they can't react. I don't know where on earth what is happening in Nigeria will happen, that country will not be brought to a standstill by the people until their oppressors are run out of the country. Nigerians have become this empire of docile people. The young people who try to come out, they beat them down. The young people who have seen, by interaction of young people from across the world, decided to come out to demand an answer. Very young children. I'm telling you, very young children, adolescent children. Which country, where do you put adolescents into prison? Where do you cut adolescents down with bullets? Only in Nigeria. Only in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very beautiful country, but in the hands of evil men, in the hands of killers, who have no mercy, who don't care about Nigeria, who don't care about children. They only care about sitting on top of Nigeria, and they are sitting on the necks of Nigerians and choking the people of Nigeria to death. They have thousands of young Nigerians in detention camps across Nigeria. No thanks to a stupid, useless army that cannot defeat Boko Haram, because Boko Haram terrorism is business. Here we are with Nigeria. Nigeria has its children, young children, not adults, young children. If you look at the picture that I showed in the preface of this, you will see young children. They arraign them in court, hold them in prison camps under inhuman and inhumane conditions, without food. Children who went to protest on empty stomachs were arrested and detained without food, and they were collapsing in the courtroom yesterday. This is terrorism against the future of Nigeria. This is terrorism against the children of Nigeria. This is terrorism against everything that Nigeria represents. This is terrorism against the sovereignty of Nigeria. This is terrorism against the territorial space of Nigeria. Yes. Yes, this is how sad Nigeria is. Nigeria is about gone. Nothing in that country is working. No electricity, no infrastructure. The roads are all death traps. No healthcare delivery. The educational system is run down. The country is right on a standstill. The economy is lying prostrate. The exchange rate is, don't even talk about it. There is absolutely no food. The people of Nigeria are eating from trash right now. Yes, I'm going to have to do a broadcast. You see children of Nigeria scavenging for food in the trash dumps in Nigeria. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, endowed with mineral and natural resources, the sixth largest exporter of petroleum. Yes, the Nigerian children are now eating from dumps. They eat trash. Nigerian children are eating from trash. We say where's the government? There's no government. That Nigerians cannot unite and rise up is what I can't understand. That Nigerians learn how to adjust to every difficult situation that nobody on earth should adjust itself to. It makes me feel so sad. That Nigerians are planning for another election in 2027. When the one of 2023, they have not been able to resolve the logjam. When in an emergency situation like this, when Nigerians are dying in droves, we are cutting corner. A man who came from the periphery to buy up everything that is buyable in Nigeria, now family with the power in his hands. How are you going to win him? With a corrupt army, with a useless security apparatus all over the country. This man needs to be forced out of power. That is what Nigerians should be doing and not be negotiating. When they talk about that, you tell us about your tribe. He's a Yoruba man. So Yorubas will standing, even if they are the most suffering. They don't want to be seen as taking part. Yes, because their tribesman is involved. Some Muslims will be telling you that he's a Muslim, and so they will support one of their own. If religion makes you an idiot to support criminality, then I question your religiousness. If your religion makes you an idiot that you lie behind hell, God is not on your side. You are not supporting the work of God. The people of Nigeria, you see your children. Those children, some of them are Christians, some are Muslims, some are African traditionalists. Why can't we see the Nigerian in them and leave the religion and their tribes out and unite now and set them free before they all take turns to die? Because these evil people holding Nigeria hostage, they don't care. What they say is that they want them to be punished so that it will serve as a deterrent to others who will try. How long will you live in misery, Nigerians? How long will you live in pains, Nigerians? For how long are you going to live in this logjam? How long are you going to live in this hopelessness? How long shall we stand aside and watch them slaughter our children? Why can't we emancipate ourselves from the mental slavery associated with tribalism, the mental slavery associated with religious nationalism, and set our people free? Beautiful country. Foreign interests come to benefit from Nigeria because they love the chaos in the country now, because that is when business is best for them. They love criminals being in charge because they have baggages that they can fly in their face and tell them, remember. They love people who will not ask them questions. Why do we think that Britain will be the savior of Nigeria? Why do we think that America will come and save Nigeria? Americans have their battles to fight, and they are fighting it. On November 5th, they'll be going to the poll to vote. When are we going to graduate from this colonial school so we can be ourselves and direct our destiny? That is a question most Nigerian elites have never asked. 64 years after independence. 64 years after independence. We are still stuck on one spot. 64 years after independence. We are not growing. We are not making any progress. What type of a country is that? 64 years of independence. We are still in darkness, no electricity. And so we cannot industrialize and grow our economies, our economy. We cannot do anything that support small businesses. Now let me shock you. Small businesses are the engine room. Yes, they are the drivers of the American economy, not the big corporations. Yes, they are the biggest employers of labor. Yes, the small companies, 2, 3 here, 5 people working here, 10 there, and all that. Look at it. The number of the population of the United States. Yes, roughly nearly 300 million. Nigeria is perhaps over 220 million. But because we cannot count, it could be more than that. Now we don't have capacity. What makes a country great? Capacity. Capacity building. Why is Israel strong enough to be waging war against the whole of the world? Yes, they built capacity. They built capacity. The population of Israel is roughly about 10 million. But Israel can wipe out Nigeria in a second. Yes, look at what they are doing in that place where they are. Yes, because we are not building capacity for our people. We are not expanding capacity. We are not extending capacity to our people. And that is because of the choice of leadership we make, the quality of leadership we make. When we have opportunities to choose people, we choose those who will give us 1,000 naira to vote for them. You know that he doesn't have anything in his head. You know that he has never done anything that one can look at and say, yes, this man is worth my vote. You vote for him. And then he goes. The next 4 years, you don't see him. He amassed more money and then come back again. You re-elect him. And that is how Nigeria went down the way it is. No Nigerian leader, that I don't know that there is any that is worthy of being called a leader. And we are here. Yes, we are here. Given the same opportunity tomorrow, we will make the same mistake and be crying. We can't protest. We can't ask questions because we are all corrupt. Yes, look at our country. Who is Bola Ahmed Tinubu to hold these young men and women in captivity for as long as he has done? If Nigerians were a people who were ready, who would love their country, one appearance in that court, we set them free. Look at our judges who sell justice. Look at everywhere in Nigeria. There's no reprieve. That is why we are where we are. These oppressors will continue until and unless we tell them that we have had enough and then get them out. And that is it. And it's going to require force, not an election. Not an election in Nigeria. After the forceful ejection of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the erosion of the entire political class, deliberately, the purge of the political class in Nigeria is the only way we can go back to the drawing board and rebuild the foundation of Nigeria. If you are telling me about the election tomorrow, you are wasting your time. Peter Obi cannot and will not bring about any change. Hey, Patience, how are you? I am telling you. Now let me hear you. Yeah, hear me loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Peter Obi will not be the solution Nigeria needs to solve its problem. Because in recent times, he has demonstrated that he's a politician. With the statements he has been coming that has been coming out of his mouth, with the compromise deals he has been making, he will reinforce the same old order that we are shaking and we are ready to be kicked out. You heard the message he sent to Gowon, a war criminal, calling him a leader, calling him a unifier. I don't know how old he was in 1966. So it means that Peter Obi does not know the history of Nigeria. He does not know the history of what happened in 1966. Because of his desperation for power, now he's eating trash from everywhere. And then, you know what that will do to Nigeria? It will reinforce the same evil that has held our country down. That evil that must be broken, that chain that must be broken. He's going about reinforcing him. I advise him like Kenneth Okonkwo did. Forget about running for any position. Let us, if you are serious, let us unite and kick Bola Ahmed Tinubu out through a revolution. That is what Nigeria needs right now. Anything short of a revolution that will purge the political class in Nigeria, not just only Tinubu, is one part of a problem. There are many, perhaps who are worse than him. If Nigerians do not unite to purge this man and the entire political class, Nigeria will be buried alive. Nigeria will be buried alive. So Peter Obi cannot, it's not a pathway to a solution because he's a compromised human being too. Look at what Ojukwu's wife did to her own husband. Yes, because of this greed for power. What is she bringing to the table? Is it her intellect or is it her experience as a diplomat in the past? It's a part of a grand design to wreck Nigeria. That is what it is. Ojukwu would be spinning in his grave right now. I wish that man could wake up and ask Bianca questions about this very, very, very wicked betrayer. She's appointed Minister of State, really, and she accepted it. A week after Peter Obi stabbed Ojukwu in the back. No, Igbos, if you are so desperate about looking for president, look for another one. It's not that president of Nigeria is not going to come through Peter Obi. I supported him in 2023. I spent a lot of my money. I don't know him. I didn't call him. I mobilized my hometown, voted for him against the criminal that was Atiku's vice presidential candidate, whose mother was from the same place. I told them, you people will bury yourself if you were. And the people reacted. It cost me some money trying to wake them up. Peter Obi is a failure. It's a disaster waiting to happen. I don't see Nigeria seeing 2027 politically. Yes. Nigerians, you must unite right now and set yourselves free. There's an emergency right before you, not politics. Politicians cannot solve Nigeria's problems because they created it. So when you create another opportunity for them, especially the people in the current political class, they're going to make things worse for you. It's the same people. They are not going to change. What radical change is going to come from them? Nigeria needs a radical change from a stranger to the political equation in Nigeria. Yes, a die-hard Nigerian or a set of die-hard Nigerians at all levels who will be ready to die for Nigeria. That is what Nigeria wants now. People must die for Nigeria to be okay. And a lot of people will have to die for that because of the level of destruction that they have brought upon the country. So cutting corners, running away from all this is not going to help because they will come even when you are not running. And even as you are running right now, the problem, did you know, some people did not know, some maybe as far back as last year, that they were going to be kidnapped, that Nigeria will cascade into the kind of hell it is right now, that will lead to their own kidnap. You remember what happened to the train traveling from Abuja to Kaduna? Over how many people were in there? Did those people sleep in the night hoping that they were going to wake up? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I see. Yes, patience. Thank you. He said, as it is right now, we are most likely to see the same set of people in the next election. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the people of Nigeria have sold themselves into slavery. They are good only at crying when they should be taking action. I won't be surprised. That is why I'm not interested. I don't want anybody telling me about politics. Nobody should tell me about Peter Obi. Nobody should tell me about Atiku. The same people. That is why they are coming to form their stupid, useless mega party. Lazy people, corrupt people who don't love their country. Always looking for ways. It's all about how they are going to find an opening to fleece the country. That is why they are going about their mega party. But I'm more interested in freeing the young people of Nigeria. I wish they can listen because they are a problem on their own. The young people of Nigeria who are not looking at their peers from across the world and seeing what they did. In Sri Lanka, young people went in there and said, hey, man, yeah, your time is up. They came. Military tanks came. Yes, they overpowered the military men with their tanks. The tank drivers had to do what? They bowed. They said, okay, we don't want to fight with you because you are our brothers. Unlike what the Nigerian army will do. Yeah. The Nigerian, yeah. There's none of them who will be a good leader. None of them. I have no hope, no confidence in any of them. They are all the same evil, wicked criminals. So any person hoping on any of these people, you'll be wasting your time. But Nigerians, what can we do to release these children who are dying? They are dropping dead in the courtrooms. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a shameless man. He's a wicked man. His children are outside Nigeria, and those in Nigeria are sitting on top of Nigeria's budget and chewing it. And they are telling you to be patient. They are telling you that the economy is growing. How will an economy grow when people are dying? How will an economy grow when farmers are not able to go to their farms? How will an economy grow when people are hungry? How will the economy grow when there is insecurity all over the country? We have been telling you, and we will continue to tell you. Some will tell me come home. Yes, you don't tell me come home anymore because I have proven that. I came home 2019. Well, I did not see any of you. I was ready to do what nobody could do. I came out. I didn't carry no soldier, no police, nothing. If I come again tomorrow, I'm going to do the same thing. But I will come at my own time, not because you want me sarcastically to come home. Yes, so you don't tell me that anymore. I am not afraid of anyone. So if you like, it's time for you to wake up. Because if we don't, Somalia will be a child's play. You know, Somalia has not had government since over 40 years. You don't want that for Nigeria. And that is what some imperial powers want, so that they can take control of Africa. Nigeria is the only thing that is holding them back. But we don't have the leadership that can stop them. But it is not late if we wake up right now and do what we need to do. All right, from here, with love from me to you, let's think about all this and really do something fast before it is too late for all of us. Good day and have a great evening. If you love what I do, I don't force people and I don't beg people. I'm a diehard patriot. I love the country from 10,000 miles. You know, some of my friends who live here tell me, why are you doing this? You are living comfortably here. Your family is here. Why are you worried about Nigeria? Let the people in Nigeria take care of themselves. That's what some of my friends tell me. That's what some Nigerians tell me. But I have a heart. I love Nigeria. I know I grew up there. I saw some good in Nigeria when I was growing up. You know, to see it from this distance, you know, being eroded by some criminals, it touches me, makes me hard. That is why I do what I do. I am not going to relent, but I want some people in Nigeria to wake up. Join us at Open Nigeria as you watch, and if you're watching now or you're watching later, or those who are watching, please, share this message and encourage people to join us. We can do something. We have the guts to do something. But what we don't have right now is the critical mass of critically conscious Nigerians. If we have them, things will start happening. Good night and have a good day. Bye for now.